I found the text message on a Tuesday afternoon. My wife's phone was on the kitchen counter, buzzing. I glanced at it, expecting a message from her book club or her mother. Instead, I saw, "Can't wait to see you tonight. Room 447, same hotel. I love you." The sender? Greg. Greg. My boss. Greg Mitchell. The man I'd worked under for 8 years. The man who'd been to our house for dinner. The man whose retirement party invitation was sitting on my desk. I stood there, frozen, staring at those words. And in that moment, I made a decision. I wasn't going to confront them. Not yet. I was going to wait. 3 months. Until Greg's retirement party. When 200 colleagues, his wife of 30 years, and everyone he'd ever worked with would be in the same room. That's when I'd tell the truth. And I'd make sure everyone heard it. My name is David Michael Anderson. I'm 42 years old, and I'm a senior project manager at Morrison & Associates. I have a good career, a nice house, and I've been married for 15 years. Or, I thought I was married. That Tuesday my life changed, but my reaction didn't. I didn't yell, didn't cry, didn't break anything. I just took a deep breath, put the phone back, and started planning. My wife Laura and I met in 2008. She was an interior designer. I was a newly graduated engineer. We met at a friend's wedding, danced, and got married a year later. The first 10 years were good, really good. Vacations, dinner parties with friends, dreams of buying a house. Even the child discussions were loving. Maybe someday, we'd say, but not yet. Then something started to change. Laura became more distant. She looked at her phone more. She started saying, "I'll be late," more often. But when I asked, she'd say, "Just tired." And I believed her. Because I trusted our marriage. Greg Mitchell, on the other hand, was a different story. Greg had been my boss since my first day at Morrison & Associates. He was 60, experienced, respected, a leader everyone loved. He'd been married to Patricia for 30 years. They had 3 children, 5 grandchildren. He was like a company legend. "Be like Greg," they'd tell young engineers. And I respected him, really. He mentored me, promoted me, invited me to his house for dinner. Laura and I would have dinner with Greg and Patricia a few times a year. Double dates. Friendship. Or so I thought. After I found that message on Tuesday, I went back and reevaluated everything. Laura's girls' night? Actually hotel nights with Greg. Book club meeting? Meeting with Greg. Shopping trip? Lunch with Greg. Every lie now appeared in crystal clarity. And Greg? The evenings he called business dinners were with Laura at restaurants. The hours he called late meetings were with her at hotels. The Chicago conference? He never left the city. The first days were the hardest. I went home. Laura was watching TV. "Hi, honey, how was your day?" she asked. "Good," I said. Sat next to her, pretended to be intimate. Inside, I wanted to scream, but I didn't make a sound, because I was making a plan. The next day I went to work, walked into Greg's office. "Good morning, Greg." "Good morning, David. You look great today." I smiled. "Thanks. I've prepared the reports for Monday's presentation." "Excellent. You're really dependable, David." Dependable. The word hung in the air. "You're sleeping with my wife and I'm dependable." But I kept the smile on my face. "Always, Greg." That week I decided to hire a private investigator. His name was Marcus Chen, 20 years of experience, specialized in infidelity cases. I sat in his office and told him everything. "How long do you need?" I asked. "Depends on how much evidence you want," Marcus said. "For divorce, 1 hotel photo is enough. But you seem to want something different." "I want everything," I said. "Every hotel visit, every dinner, every text, every lie. Can you document it all?" Marcus raised his eyebrows. "I can, but it'll be expensive." "Doesn't matter." "And what are you going to use these for?" I told him about Greg's retirement party. 3 months from now. 200 people. Marcus leaned back, thought, then smiled. Mr. Anderson, that's a terrible plan. I know, but it'll also be very satisfying. I know. Okay, I'm on it. The next 3 months were the strangest period of my life. During the day, I lived a normal life. Went to work, reported to Greg, had meetings with the team. Greg trusted me, even gave me more responsibility. "David, you're amazing," he'd say. "When I retire, I can leave this department to you." "Thank you, Greg," I'd say. I'd be honored. At night I'd go home. Laura would make dinner. We'd watch TV, as if everything was normal. But inside, I was counting down. 90 days, 89 days, 88 days. Marcus sent reports every week. First week, 3 hotel visits. Fairmont Hotel, room 447. Each time paid with Greg's credit card. Photos. Greg and Laura entering the lobby together, holding hands. Second week, 2 romantic dinners. Luigi's Italian restaurant, out of town, where nobody would see them. Wine, candlelight, kissing. Photos clear. Third week, a weekend trip. Greg's work calendar said Chicago conference. Laura said, Mom's sick, visiting her. Reality, both at a boutique hotel in Napa Valley. Marcus photographed them on a wine tour. Each report was added to the file. Each piece of evidence accumulated. And I waited patiently. One day, Patricia Mitchell ran into me at the mall. "David, so good to see you." Patricia was 58, elegant, kind, Greg's perfect wife. Everyone loved her. "Hi, Patricia. How are you?" "Wonderful. We're preparing for Greg's retirement party. Are you coming?" "Of course. Wouldn't miss it." "Great. Greg loves you, you know. He always says, 'David's my best man.'" I smiled. "He means a lot to me, too." Patricia continued talking about the party, the menu, Greg's speech. I listened, nodded, and thought to myself, "Patricia, I'm so sorry. But you need to know." 2 weeks before the retirement party, Laura started acting strange. "David, you seem distant lately. Is everything okay?" "Yeah, just busy at work." "Are you sure? You can talk to me." Ironic. My wife talking about talking to me. "I'm sure, Laura. Just tired." She kissed me. "I love you." "Me too," I said. But the words were empty now. One night, after Laura fell asleep, I checked her phone. Yes, I knew her password. 15 years of marriage. There were messages with Greg. Hundreds of them. "Missed you tonight. Being with you is better than anything. I want to tell Patricia, but the timing isn't right." "Does David suspect?" "No, he's clueless. Naive as always." Naive. The word stabbed into my chest like a knife. But my face was expressionless. I put the phone back, went back to bed, and slept. Because in 2 weeks, I'd show them I wasn't naive. 1 week before the retirement party, Greg called me into his office. "David, sit down. I want to talk to you." "Sure, Greg." "When I retire, I want you to take over this department, officially. You'll be vice president." I acted shocked. "Really? Greg, this is incredible." "You deserve it. You've been excellent for 8 years, dependable, loyal, honest." Honest. That was funny. "Thank you, Greg. This means so much to me. I'll make the announcement at the retirement party, in front of everyone. Official transition." I'd be honored. Greg stood up, shook my hand. "You're like a son to me, David. You know that, right?" "I know, Greg. Like a son. The man who's like a son is sleeping with your wife." I left his office, went to the bathroom, and looked in the mirror. Who had I become? a man with a smile on his face and rage inside. But just one more week. Just one more week. Marcus sent the final report. Total: 47 photographs, 23 hotel receipts, 156 text message transcripts, $12,000 in expenses, hotels, dinners, gifts, 27 meetings over 3 months. "This is more than enough for divorce court," Marcus said. "You have everything you need." "Perfect. One more thing. At the retirement party, I want all these documents on a USB drive. Slideshow ready, ready to run." "Are you seriously doing this?" "Absolutely." Marcus paused. "Okay, but I have to say, this is going to be painful. Not just for Greg and Laura, for Patricia, for their kids, for everyone." "I know. And there's no going back. Once you do this, every relationship will be destroyed." "I know." "Are you sure?" I paused. Was I really sure? Then I remembered Laura's message. Does David suspect? No, he's clueless. Naive as always. "I'm sure," I said. The retirement party was Friday night at Riverside Banquet Hall. It was a magnificent event. 200 people, silver balloons, champagne towers, a slideshow of Greg Mitchell's 35-year career at Morrison & Associates. Laura and I came together. She wore a beautiful dress. Her makeup was perfect. "Are you excited?" she asked. "Very," I said, "but for a different reason." We went inside. Patricia greeted us, hugged us. "David, Laura, thank you so much for coming." "Absolutely," I said. "Wouldn't miss this." Greg took the stage, grabbed the microphone. Everyone applauded. "Good evening, everyone. Thank you for being here. Tonight isn't just a retirement party. This is a celebration of a life." Applause. Cheers. Greg continued his speech. He talked about his career, his accomplishments, his team. "But most importantly," he said, calling Patricia to the stage, "I couldn't have done this without my beautiful wife. 30 years of marriage, the love of my life, my everything." Patricia smiled, tears falling. Greg kissed her. Everyone said, "Aw." I sat in the back. I felt the USB drive in my pocket. Greg finished his speech. "And now, a special announcement. To replace me as vice president, I'm appointing the man I trust most, David Anderson." Everyone turned to me. Applauded. Greg called me to the stage. "David, come up here." I stood up, walked to the stage. Greg shook my hand, handed me the microphone. "David, do you have anything you'd like to say?" "Yes," I said. "I do." I looked at the room. 200 faces. Patricia in the front row. Laura in the back, looking uncomfortable. I took a deep breath. "Greg, we're all here to celebrate your 35-year career. You were a leader, a mentor, and a friend." Greg smiled. "But you were also a liar." The smile froze. The room went silent. "What?" Greg said, voice weak. 3 months ago," I continued, "I found a text message on my wife's phone. From you. Hotel room. 'I love you.' Remember?" Patricia jumped up. "What?" Laura stood up, mouth open. Greg raised his hand. "David, this is a misunderstanding." "A misunderstanding?" I pulled out the USB drive, plugged it into the projector. "Then maybe you can explain these." The first photo appeared on the screen. Greg and Laura in the Fairmont Hotel lobby, holding hands. Whispers rose in the room. Second photo, a romantic dinner, wine, candlelight, kissing. Third photo, Napa Valley, wine tour, embracing. Patricia screamed, "Greg, what is this?" Greg was trembling. "Patricia, I... 30 years, Patricia shouted. 30 years we've been married, and with this man's wife?" Laura started crying. "David, please." Please what, Laura? I turned to her. Please don't show this to 200 people. Please protect Greg's wife, his children, his grandchildren. The slideshow continued. Every photo, every receipt, every message. People watched in shock. Greg's children were crying. Colleagues were whispering. Patricia rushed to the stage, slapped Greg across the face. Slap! The sound echoed through the entire hall. You monster! She screamed. Greg collapsed. Laura tried to run to me. David, listen, No, I said calmly. I listened for 3 months. Now it's your turn. But there's nobody listening. I put down the microphone, left the stage, and walked to the door. Behind me came screams, crying, chaos. But I didn't turn around. I walked outside, got in my car, went home. And for the first time in 3 months, I breathed easily. The next day, Patricia called me. David, I didn't know. I swear I didn't know. I know, Patricia. 30 years. How could he do this? I don't know. She cried, a long, deep, heartbreaking cry. I'm divorcing him, she said. Going to the lawyer today. Me too. David, thank you. I learned in a terrible way, but I needed to know. You're welcome, Patricia. She hung up. Laura came home to pack her things. Her eyes were swollen, her makeup smeared. David, please, let's talk. There's nothing to talk about. I made a mistake, a terrible, stupid mistake, but I love you. I laughed, a bitter, empty laugh. Does David suspect? No, he's clueless, naive as always. Is that how you love me? Her face went white. You read the messages. Every single one. I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. Not accepted. My lawyer will send divorce papers tomorrow. Leave now. She cried, begged, but I was firm. Finally, she took her things and left. And I stood alone in the house where 15 years of marriage had ended. Monday, I didn't go to work. HR called me. David, Greg Mitchell has resigned, effective immediately. The company is conducting a review. I understand. And the CEO wants to speak with you. The CEO, Margaret Hartley, sat in her office, serious expression. David, sit down. We heard about Friday night. Yes. It was very striking. My wife's affair partner was my boss, so I waited until his retirement party to tell his wife, in front of 200 colleagues. I'm sorry. It wasn't professional. No, Margaret said, it wasn't. But it's understandable. Greg Mitchell was a senior employee. We can't allow breach of trust. I nodded. The company is canceling Greg's retirement. No retirement package, just legal minimum. Wow. And we're considering making you vice president, as Greg planned. I was shocked. Really? You've been excellent for 8 years. This situation wasn't your fault, and we respect your honesty. Thank you. But David, in the future, please use less dramatic methods. I laughed. My first real laugh. I promise. Now, 6 months later, my life is different. I'm divorced. Laura's alimony request was denied due to adultery. The house went to me. Patricia divorced too. Greg lost half his assets. Greg? Couldn't find a new job. His reputation was destroyed. The former legend is now a cautionary tale. Me? I'm vice president. Got promoted. My salary increased. And most importantly, I'm at peace. People ask me, do you regret it? Doing it that way? Sometimes I say, yes. I caused Patricia pain. Greg's children went through trauma. But then I think, but they needed to know. Painfully, but they needed to know. Because the truth is, relationships built on lies eventually collapse. I just accelerated the process. And in front of those 200 people, in everyone's view. Because some reckonings aren't done privately. Some reckonings need to be witnessed by everyone. I'm David Michael Anderson. I'm 42 years old. I'm vice president. I'm divorced. And for the first time in my life, I'm truly free. Greg Mitchell, at the peak of his 35-year career, fell in front of everyone. Laura lost her 15-year marriage in front of everyone. Me? I waited 3 months, planned, documented, and one Friday night, in front of 200 people, I delivered justice. Is revenge a dish best served cold? No. Revenge is a dish best served in front of 200 witnesses, under projector light, with the microphone on. And that, the sweetest taste. Reckoning complete.